because everything with which I am struggling right now, everything with which I have been struggling for the past 9 months, everything with which I've been struggling for the past 4 years, and everything for which with which I have been struggling for my whole life, everything is shaping me and my life into something pretty fucking awesome. And it hurts. I was thinking about this a long time ago. I used to love working with clay, specifically with oven baked clay. I really liked Sculpey. That's like the only brand I can ever find of oven baked clay. I loved working with that clay. But I don't know if you've ever gotten a fresh, supply of clay, but it comes in like that, brick type looking thing, looks like a little brick, and you gotta start working it and molding it and shaping it, and it takes a while just to get it so that it's not in that rigid formation. And it takes a while to get it out of that formation and to get it into the shape that you want or need it to be in order to turn it into something beautiful. And I know it's clay, but if that clay had feelings, I bet that process isn't comfortable. I bet that process in a lot of ways is painful. And that's how life is. So I am grateful. I am grateful that my life is shaping me into something beautiful. I'm grateful that I'm going through this process. I really am. It hurts, but I am grateful for the pain. I'm grateful for the struggles. I'm grateful that at the end of this process, I'm going to be something beautiful and hopefully utilitarian. Like a bowl or a vase or an urn. Well, I would really hope not an urn, but I hope what I'm going through is shaping me into something beautiful and useful. What was that, number 9? So number 10 on my gratitude list today is I'm grateful Man, I am crying a lot on this show. I'm sorry. I I'm grateful for the two most important males in my life. And that would be my son and my all caps someone. My son Gabriel. I could not have imagined a more wonderful child. I was playing with him a couple of weeks ago, and we were under this, sort of jungle gym thing, and he was pretending to dig for dinosaur bones. And I was watching him, and I'm talking to him, but I'm looking at this child and how smart he is and how creative, and I'm just so full of pride and love. And I'm in this moment, and all I can think is chicken, because I'm just trying to savor the moment. Call back to a previous show, chicken. So in my head, I'm sitting there thinking, chicken. And when I started crying, excuse me, not crying. I'm not crying even now. I'm not crying. I'm leaking. Quick side note, I was telling all caps boys that I'm not crying, I'm leaking. I have an overflow of emotions and they come out of my eyes. I'm leaking. So, anyways, back to this story. So I was watching Gabriel play, and I'm just trying to savor this moment and this time with him and how wonderful of a child he is. And I'm just overwhelmed with love and pride that I start crying. And he's playing and he doesn't notice. So I'm trying to get myself under control again, because I don't want him to think he's done anything wrong or that he's upset me in some way, because he hasn't. And and I just can't stop crying. So I'm just watching this child, and I love him, and I'm so proud of him, and I adore him, and I admire him, and I'm so grateful that this is my child, and I can't stop crying. And finally, after a minute or two, he looks up and he notices that I'm crying, and he goes, "It's okay, Mommy." And he wraps his arms around me, and he just hugs me, and he holds me, which made the leaking worse. Because it is the sweetest thing that a child could do. And I am so grateful that that is the kind of child that I have. Alright, let me take a drink of water, see if I can get myself under control here. Later that same day, we were again playing under this jungle gym, pretending to look for dinosaur bones, and we hear the clanging bells of a telltale sign. I don't know if you know this, but the telltale sign that a train is a coming, and we're like right next to the track, so we know it's gonna be loud. So I turn to him and I go, "Oh, there's gonna be a train." And he goes, and he puts his hands over his ears because he knows it's gonna be loud. And I went, No, come here. I'll keep you safe." And so I took his hands off of his head and I put my hands over his ears. And I just held him there. And then he realizes that nobody's covering my ears. So he puts his hands over my ears right as the train starts going by. And so we just sat there covering each other's ears until the train went away. Because it's loud. It's fucking loud, you guys. That's my sweet boy. And I mean, I know he didn't turn out that way in a vacuum. I know that I nurtured that more than people want to give me credit for. But I'm grateful that that's the person he is. Because there's a lot of that comes from nature. So, the other part of this gratitude thing is all caps someone. I am so grateful for all caps someone. This person who understands me, who doesn't judge me or make me feel like shit because I'm not perfect. Yeah, sometimes it gets a little condescending and patronizing, but I don't think he means to. I think he's mostly just trying to share what he knows and what he's been thinking. And anything that I interpret from that, i.e. the patronization, the condescension, that's on me. That's not how he intends it. But by that same token, when I have some distortion in my thinking or my logic or my reason or whatever, he's not afraid to call me on it. Yeah, sometimes he's an asshole about it. I told him the other day, he called me out on some douchebaggery I was engaging in. And, and I started feeling bad, and then he felt bad because he thought he'd made me feel bad. And I said, no, dude, you just said the right thing to take me out of my, bubble here. And, yeah, that hurts, but that's not your fault. That's my fault for being a douchebag in the first place. Thank you for telling me to take my douchebaggage to the curb, Anyways. But I went on to say, I'd rather you be an asshole and honest than a pussy and dishonest. And he went, I wasn't trying to be an asshole. I said, no, you weren't being an asshole in this situation. You're not hearing what I'm saying. I'd rather have assholery and honesty than pussiness and dishonesty. And I know that's a word that a lot of people don't like to hear, so I apologize. I don't even really like saying it myself, to be honest with you. Except I did, so I'm sorry. Anyways, I have such a hard time putting into words what all caps someone means to me. This person who listens to me, who comforts me, who is standing beside me in some really shitty times. It was a really horrible situation that I'm in. And he's in a really horrible situation himself. But he's supporting me. He's standing beside me.